every 2 years, we gather and we get ecstatic. It's the scale of the ancient Olympics. This kind of blows my mind with 40,000 people here. That's how many people were at the Olympics, and this is the conditions that they were living under. Everything was built. There were some temples. If you've been to Olympia, you'll know. But everything was built pretty much for the festival, and everybody came in the same spirit that we're coming here. War was suspended for that festival, so it's a very interesting parallel. But when the festivals are over, as I said earlier, we're faced with the challenge of coming down, coming into the world, and that's we want to be able to live these enhanced lives always in some capacity, it seems to me. But for our point of view, the good news is that there are free cultural spaces in place already. You can tap into them, and that's the purpose. Part of the purpose of the symposium is to allow you to tap into them. And there are others that are emerging right now, and the symposium is intended to link those to a larger network. So, in the words of my colleague Alan Dearling here, make your own free cultural spaces and come and join us, or don't. Make your own free cultural space and do something unique, and we'll all come to you. Build a better mousetrap. One key to the spaces that survive seems to lie early in the organization process, when they aren't focused on oppositions or against oppressors, and when they embrace celebratory impulse wedded to the determination to develop a unique system for themselves. Sharing a few common values in the initial stages, it helps make it happen. And one really extraordinary success and survival community is Freetown Christiania, which exists in the heart of Copenhagen. At its inception in 1971, Christiania committed to being a self-governing society on a communally controlled land base that practices full consensus democracy and is dedicated to the goals of individual freedom and self-fulfillment. And they've been doing this for 43 years. Now, it's a nightmare to me, 1,000 people practicing consensus democracy, when the meetings and decisions to the question to the other man can take a month sometimes to get to an answer. But Nina Estrup and Lígia Neves are going to talk to us about Christiania and what it is, and they are perfectly positioned. They both live there and are both active.
Thank you.
Hello, family. It's more than a pleasure, it's a bless to be here representing Christiania and building something together with all of us. My name is Lígia, I'm Portuguese, and I'm living and working in Christiania. And our big goal is to create with all of us a platform, an easy platform that we can all have a good, easy access to the free cultural spaces and share and grow together. You have it.
Yeah. Hello, boom. I'm Nina Estrup. I got caught in Christiania about 10 years ago, and I'm still in this wonderful place. I'm staying there because it's a place where I can be myself. I can gather all the things from my past and take them with me into this wonderful place. We made some people think that it's a festival all year round. For those, it's not really. It's a squad. It's hosting more than 1 million visitors every year. We are living 800 grown-up people there and about 200 kids. And as Jordan said, it started in 1971, so it's almost 43 years ago. 43 years ago, they took down the fence to a 35 35-acre military area. It all started as a social experiment. It still is, but we managed to legalize it because we bought it. And it's open to everyone, as long as you don't harm others. So the coin is this is a Christiania coin, and in the beginning it was the salary of 1 hour work, and it was also the price of 1 gram of wheat, so you could exchange it.
Let's say that since the beginning, a big part of the social and political activism was always connected with the culture and cultural aspects and the heart. No, that's why we always have the police involved in performance and art and shows and theater, everything. No, as you can see. We have also connected with Christiania, with the community street that it's called the Pusher Street, that it's the area where it's only allowed to sell the weed and the hashish, and so we have a big relation, intimate relation with the police. No, so the most things that we can develop in all the areas. Let's say that we always have this intimate connection with the police. So, but Nina, she can tell a really nice story about this circus. Yeah.
It was a bunch of homeless people that was invited to come and live in Christiania. They brought all the wagons, and the police didn't really want them there. So for many hours, the guy on the top called Avi, he was sitting there. He didn't want to leave the place. All of a sudden, he had to pee, and he announced it to the police. Listen, I have to pee. But nobody wanted to leave. So in the end, you can guess what happened, no? Yeah.
And the solution also to bring him down, no? Because also they cannot use legally, they cannot use extremely violence or whatever to act, no? So they needed to think and to find a way to take Avi from there, no? And it was his way to communicate.
And none of the police guys could climb the thing, so they had to chop it down in pieces. And finally, they got him down after many hours.
Yeah. So we also have connected with the community, a cultural association that is Brita and Niels, mostly in charge, and that they started this project. The cultural association from the community, it's kind of the link and the bridge that you can get to develop and create projects and whatever. This is one of the first big projects that was in 1978. That was the Animal Army. That the proposal of the Animal Army was to go outside of Copenhagen in Copenhagen and to demonstrate and to bring important messages. No, this in specific was to about the pollution, about the way that the city was growing, no, with pollution. So the animals were kind of coming from their places, the wild side, and just arriving in the city and getting sick in the city. So we have a sick pig in 1978 already. So and then the Santa Claus Army also.
Yeah. These things was created by a group called the Sunwagon, and this is the Santa Claus Army that they went to this big mall in the heart of Copenhagen, all dressed up as Santa Clauses, and they went in there. They brought a few presents themselves, but then they gathered the things from the big market, and they gave it to the people, like good Christmas presents to equalize everybody.
Yeah. Equality was the message of the Santa Claus Army at that time. We have also Santa Claus Army again. We have the Climate Bottom meeting in 2009 in Copenhagen. there was this big gathering for the climate change in December 2009. And Christiania, the Cultural Association, provide 14 days of kind of the living room where you can go and where you can accede to information and be with a lot of different people. So it was 14 days of just arriving, you as an activist arriving and figuring out where you could be in this big demonstration. Was one of the biggest demonstrations in Copenhagen.
It was complementary to the COP15. And it was everybody had the feeling that the planet is sick and it's in an emergency mode, so we really need to heal the planet. And it gathered more than 30 spiritual leaders from all over the world to help us.
This is the goddess, the mother goddess, the trash goddess that was built at that period also. Also like this sweet bear with a lot of trash. So we build a lot of really beautiful things with trash.
This is the slogan of Christiania, hurry up slowly. I really like it, fits me well.
And here we can see a few different kinds of art that are all around Christiania, because there's a big part of the people living there. There is 800 grown-ups and 200 kids. So there's a lot of different artists. So let's say that everyone has a little corner in the community, no?
Even if it's just building their houses.
Yeah.
A lot of very artistic houses.
Yeah.
And we have 3 art galleries in Christiania that you should all go and visit.
This is a toilet, this is a bathroom. It's inspired also in the slogan, the snail slogan, hurry up slowly. And it's inspired in the geometrical figure of the golden spiral. And it's really beautiful. It's the spherical vivant. And voila, this is Bunslus. Welcome to the cinema.
Yeah, it's the cinema of Christiania, but it's much more than that. It hosts many different kinds of events. For example, it have been hosting a beautiful cabaret. When you want to make cultural events like this, it's really about knowing the right people in Christiania. Like you can find your way around if you just know who to look for. We have it all there. We have the sound technician, we have all the artists. We even have the pushers. So if you want to create a show, you can go there. You can ask for some weed to
support
give to
the artists. We have also a very different. It's also nice to give the picture, because in Bunslus you can. All the places around Christiania, the cultural places, you can have really different kind of things. Like Bunslus, you can have cabarets, you can have theater, you have the cinema, you have science and cocktails there. It's like one of the biggest things created in Bunslus. That is the science, a big party with cocktails, with science connected. Also, always with a lecture about science. Always a scientist coming and sharing his knowledge and connected with the cocktails, the smoked cocktails, with all the scientists behind the bar. It's really beautiful. You should go one day. When it starts? Next year? Next year we have science and cocktails again. Science and cocktails. And the smallest circus in the world. That is really beautiful. It's made by 3 Christianites also, and it's really beautiful.
This is from one of our common meetings. This is the young generation of Christiania getting themselves involved into this, which is really beautiful that they are being a part of it now. And it's the 3rd generation in Christiania.
Yeah. Also, this this big events like the cabarets, the theater plays, normally they take space in the winter, because the winter in Denmark, it's cold. It's difficult sometimes. So if we bring like an input of joy and light in the winter, we can all together be happy, and yeah, it's nice to have this in the winter time. Yeah, so let's go. I forgot this. All right. In Copenhagen, the grocery shop.
It's the grocery shop of Christiania. It's also a big scene at the same time. It's inside, it's a grocery shop, but it's also a bar at the same time. Outside you have a playground, you have a really good place to gather, and loads of concerts, and most beautiful pancake shop in the history, I would say. It's whenever I want to create a project in Christiania, and I have to talk with all the locals that are connected to this project, then I go here and I drink a beer, smoke a cigarette, and then they will all pass. So it's a really easy way, instead of sitting with the telephone, having to call everybody. So in this way, it's easy to create a project there.
Yeah, it's a big meeting point in Copenhagen, and the free cultural shop that is just in the corner of Copenhagen. So you can, you can find everything there from all around the world. Yeah, you can find outfits from Africa, Morocco, India, everything, and it's not. It doesn't have a structure. Or, yeah, you can go. You can put there the things you don't want, and then you can just take what you need.
Yes.
Yeah, and in Copenhagen again. And this is Solust, is one of the kindergartens from the community. And every year in the summer, there's this party, this summer party, to raise money for the kindergarten and for the summer holidays of the kids. And it's a beautiful party also. Like you can always organize a party in Christiania if you live there to raise money for your projects, even though it's your house or your performance or whatever. You can always do these kind of things to get some support economically also. And Solust again. Then we have Moonfisher. Moonfisher is the youth meeting point. It's a bar, a non-alcoholic bar, just coffee and cacao. And it's the big meeting point of the young generation and the oldest also, but like, and we can have like different kind of things also in this space, like everywhere. Performance, music, concerts, lectures, and the big cake. Every year, like this year, it's going to be the 43rd anniversary of Christiania. So every year, Moonfisher provides the big cake to celebrate with everyone. And normally it's divided in half, and half is for the children, and the other half it's for the grown-ups. And this is in Moonfisher. No? This was on the 4th anniversary that it was a big party, gigantic party. Here we are again. Yeah. And Nemoland. Let's say that Nemoland, it's the most commercial platform in Christiania. That the big concerts, there are big well, let's just stay there. It's the commercial platform of Christiania. You can
With
find
3 concerts
every
Sunday
Sunday
during the summer.
It's Nemoland. Nemoland again, big party. Yeah, Woodstock.
Ah, so we jump to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Okay, we have it here. Okay, this is the Wild West. I imagine cowboys. No? Yeah. You can meet all kind of people here. Sometimes it's crowded like this outside. In the morning, it's a very important place for me. It's where I often go to eat my breakfast. I meet all the locals, and we can discuss everything in Christiania.
If you go to Christiania, you need to have a beer in Woodstock. Don't forget that.
No.
It's and Operan. Operan is another bar, and it's also really, really, really cultural mixed. Operan is like the embassy of the foreigners, like the Russians. They celebrate the New Year there, so there's a lot of foreigners community that use Operan as their own embassy, no? And they
Assembly house.
Assembly house, yeah. Assembly house. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
This is Operan again, and you can have a lot of variety shows in Operan. It's a really good artistic platform also, Operan. The jazz club. The jazz club, it's one of the beautiful places also, and it's also so because it's the jazz club and it's the theater. It's the children's theater, so you can have like a really, really good evening jazz concert, and then in the next morning you can have the children's theater. And as you can see, the jazz club, you can have the concerts and the theater for children in the same place, no? That's the diversity of the places. And the Loppen is the oldest concert room in Copenhagen. Before, back in the beginning, was used as the flea market, all the building, and as long we've been growing, it's been divided. So now in Loppen we have a gallery, a beautiful gallery. We have one of the best restaurants in Copenhagen. Also, it's really good restaurant. We have the
local post house we have there.
The local post house, the youth space for the teenagers, Christiania shop, a Thai restaurant. So now it's more or less divided, but the concert room is one of the big marks in the Loppen building. Concerts. This is Andy Benz. It's one Christianate. I want to say his name because he's so good. Andy Benz is one of the best musicians also in the community. You can find him in SoundCloud. Andy Benz.
So in the time of Christiania, it have only been closed twice. So every day it's open, every day the engine is running, but 2 times we closed it because we had big matters to discuss. And I think it was really important for Christiania to do this, also to gather, to create together. In this picture, we have a big map of Christiania, and we are making small models of all the things that we would love to put into this place. But it's always really difficult to develop the place because we always have loads of inputs from all our guests and the engine that needs to keep running.
It's always also good. It's good to these 2 experience of 1 week closing. It's really good for it to take care and protect the heart inside. But it's also good for the old city to see the impact that it does in old city to have Christiania closed, no, and that the communication can be better and we can work together. This is with a ceremony with Dave.
That was the end of our closing week. We all gathered for this amazing fire made by Dave X from Burning Man. And we ended up having a massive snowball fight. So good.
This is one of the...
So this is Fredens Eng, which is hosting many things. It's hosting football, for example. Every year we are trying to get along with the police, right? So every year we have a football match with the police. Yeah, and mostly we win, which is good. Yeah. We also have Circus Festivals there. Since 2005, we have Circus Festivals every year, which I think have been really good for Christiania. This is Circus Panico that was there in 2010. This is from when the balloon company was there. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful time. The balloon company is from Amsterdam, Rijnhout.
This is the balloon company again.
And we also use Frensing to celebrate our birthday. So often there is a big event there. Now we are on to the Grey Hall. It's the biggest hall we have. So it's hosting all the big concerts. But it's hosting much more than that. It's also every year hosting a big Christmas market. It's mainly locals, but also people from outside selling things. And out of this money that we create there, 10% go to the Christmas evening that we are hosting every year, which invite more than 2,000 people to come and celebrate their Christmas if they are homeless, if they just don't have a family to be with, or if they just want to enjoy the Christmas with everybody else. So there is free food and a big party for everybody.
That is supported by the Christmas market and the Queen.
Oh,
Yeah. The Queen also supports this Christmas Eve, and it's really beautiful. We use for the Christmas Eve, we also use the Grey Hall because it's the big and it's beautiful decorations all every year. Now where are we? We had like really good figures in the Grey Hall back in the times. This year also, but we had what was it?
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, yeah. Bob Dylan. You have
Among
them?
others. Yeah.
Among others. This is the Christmas market. It's always really packed and always really different kind of handicraft all the time. It's really beautiful place. This is an Italian that works with olive tree and it's beautiful. Oh, this
is a picture from an auction we had, because we developed this share when we bought Christiania. We didn't have the money to buy it. They wanted, let me take a look here, they wanted 16.8 million euros. No, yeah. That was it.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money, no?
It's a lot of money.
So we had to figure out a way how to get all this money. So we developed a share that people could buy. They would never gain anything really from this share, only helping us. Maybe they could feel like they were owning a little piece of Christiania, but they had no idea where. But it helped us a lot, and we got a lot of money in this way. They extract 40 million kroners if we would maintain the area ourselves and renovate the area, and another 30 if we would build in agreement with the state. So we are trying to do this, but they are being really hard on us. So let's see how it goes. Yeah. So in the end, we bought it for 52 million Danish crowns. You have to calculate yourself. Yeah.
We also use the Grey Hall. Back in the old times, Grey Hall was the theater room for the artists, no? But now it's kind of changing. You can also make some theater, but it's like, I think, like every rooms in Christiania, you can do a lot of different things in the different platforms. No? And this is one of the big places also to host the big common meetings when we actually have something to discuss and to decide that is really important and really big. It's the Grey Hall that embraces us, and yeah.
And it's true, it can take a lot of time to get to the consensus part.
Yeah.
Days, weeks, months.
And outside of the Grey Hall, there's a really beautiful garden, a really beautiful place that we can also make. It can happen a lot of different kind of things, like this circus tent, the human circus tent. It's beautiful, made by Brunet Bros. And this is Velstel. Velstel is the collective. It's the young collective of Christiania. There's around 8-9 people living there, and Velstel was the police turned down. There was the roof. They built the roof and all the. And this is Velstel. This is Velstel now. So the first floor was turned down by the police a few years ago, and then Copenhagen was
On fire.
On fire, no? Everyone was. Bah. So then afterwards, when the police went, Velstel was rebuilt with everyone around the city really fast. I cannot say it if it was 1 week or whatever, but it was really fast that everyone just came to support and to have the good communication with the authorities, no? So then the Velstel collective made like a party. There's an annual party to say thanks to all these people. So that's the party, the annual party.
You have to be very fast now.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the backstage.
Yeah, it's called the Machine Hall. It's where we have all our trucks. We really have to finish now. Okay. So we wanted to talk a lot about the backstage. We're not going to do that. Can you go on to these pictures maybe?
Yeah.
Then we're going to round off.
Just to say that to have all these things going on, we have a big backstage. This is the trash truck. It's sexy to clean up. That is also important to talk about this. This is the trash band. So yeah, this is and then we have the ambassadors.
Yeah, and Nils and Britta, they would love to be here, and they just wanted to say hi on a picture. Yeah.
It's Nils and Britta. This is Aya, making the signs at the embassy of Raroord and Boom. Yeah, and now you're entering the EU. You go out of Christiania and you go in EU. So this is the exit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Questions for Lígia and Nina?
First, we would like to ask one thing. Do we have any Christians here that would like to come on stage to help us answer questions? Come up.
Thanks so much for sharing all this. It looks and sounds like a beautiful place, and you took us a lot through the geography of the place and the event and everything. And I just would love to hear a bit more about the communal code in Christiania, and like how is it governed internally? How do you deal with each other? What makes it unique in that sense? And my second question is really like, in what sense are you able to remain autonomous, and in which parts do you really have to conform to authorities in one way or another? You know, so the relationship with the state, in a sense.
Well, the way that we work our community around is we are a pretty big area, and we are all very, very different. So Christiania is divided into 14 areas, and we are between, I think the smallest one is my area. We are 18, and the biggest one is almost 100. And we have meetings every month where we get together as neighbors to see how are you doing, do you feel good, how is your compost toilet working, do you need help with anything, do we have issues with the rest of Christiania. And if we have this, then we create a common meeting, and we put posters up in the whole village. We have to have at least 3 days when we put up the posters to announce that we're going to have a common meeting, what the theme is. Then we will all gather up and talk about this. Of course, if you're interested, this is the great part about a consensus democracy, is you can choose not to care. And of course, it's really difficult to have that wide openness in a community, but it's also what makes us unique. Because in Christiania, you can really choose to be exactly who you want to be. You can choose how much you want to participate in the community. You can choose to go to all the meetings. I had just 2 years where I decided, okay, I'm going to go to all the meetings. It was the most crazy thing I ever did. But now I know everything in all the directions. I've been to the economy meetings. I've been to the meetings where they organize the garbage. I went to the meetings where we have to go and talk to the state. We have our own lawyer who is guiding us there. And this is the way that we go to the state. Because for us, imagine 10 hippies, young and old, going to say, hello, Mr. Prime Minister. So we find this extremely nice place. Can we stay here? And they don't really listen. So we got ourselves a lawyer. We decided we need somebody who speaks that language. And this is again coming back to how we deal with it in Christiania, and what you talked about earlier is that you each find your role. Somebody's really, really good at doing the paperwork. Somebody's really good at cleaning the garbage. So you take your role and then you do that. And we have a group of people that is a little more intelligent than the rest, and it's okay, they can be that, because they will deal with the hard cases. And then we have the common meeting where everybody can come and talk and ask questions to these clever people. And they change all the time, because it's not good if one person have the power all the time. Does that answer?
You showed us the coin at the beginning. Is it really like the way that everyone within Christiania works, or is it just more symbolic?
It's more symbolic. In the old days, it would be something we would use, like Nina said, to either trade work, cash. Swapping was the case back then. But now it's also a thing. It's like we're a big place and we need money, both for our bills, we're paying everything, of course, so that the coin is also, like the share, a way that you can support Christiania. If you buy a coin, if you swap a coin, buy it for 50 kroners, then you take it home and we have got 50 kroners from you. So it's a symbolic thing that's only going around in Christiania, but it's helping us a lot.
Hello. Hello. Thank you for this wonderful presentation about Christiania.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you have any limits for the population of the town, or any requirements for the people who live there.
I don't think we have a limit like that, but for many years we couldn't build. We were not allowed to build. I think for 15 years we were not allowed to build. So then it became really difficult to host more people. And also many people, as older they get, the more room they want. So actually the number of inhabitants went down a little bit. When you want to live in Christiania, we have our own law, and that's really important to follow. Not everybody do, but you should.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for the presentation. It's very interesting. I've always been very curious about it. I've heard a lot. And I see a lot of similarities with how Netherlands in the 70s also had a big problem with living space, and there was a lot of people that didn't have enough living space, so they started to squat. And I'm interested if in Christiania, just like in the Netherlands, it's more of a pragmatic choice and less of an idealistic choice. Because, well, a lot of my international friends always think Holland, well, idealistic, well, super creative and blah, 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 blah. And I always have to remind them, no, it's more because it was necessary, and it's the more logical sort of solution to a problem. So with the drugs and with squatting and everything. How did that happen in Christiania? Was it also that the city or Denmark agreeing like, okay, we have this problem, this is the best solution? Or was it a revolution of the community who really demanded it out of idealistic movements? Thank you.
Okay, what happened was, as you heard, in 71, people came and broke down this fence. But it actually started 2 years before, because it was pragmatic, of course. The neighbor areas, they were sick and tired of looking at this humongous green, lush area in the middle of Copenhagen with a fence around, only being used for 20 military men standing guarding it, you know? So it actually started with the neighbors taking down the fence to use it as a kinder place, a kid space, because they wanted their kids to experience green. But now it's more you have to be an idealist to even enter Christiania, you know. It's so you have to work your ass off by showing how much you believe and how much you want this to be able to even get into Christiania now. So of course it started out as a dream, or as a movement, and this is what the movement turned into.
Tap into these folks. They're ready to talk, and they've got a lot to say, and Christiania is something very special. So I'm sorry we're going to have to cut this off, but thank you, Nina, thank you, Lígia,
Thank you.
thank you, three.